Now, how to like
So I'm Shahansha. You can call me Shah. I have 14 years of software development experience, out of which I primarily started my career with C and right now working with low code, no code, AI and automation space. So with that, we know that these days, for the past 1 year or more than a year, we have been hearing AI, AI, AI. But how much are we using that on day-to-day life? If you're not using it, by the end of this session, you will see the power of AI and you'll definitely start using AI at least for code generations. So far we know how to do the generations of text. So you have a question, you need an article, you need some communication, you need some email. You go to ChatGPT and then you use it. You might also be used it for code generation as well. So basically, let's see what is generative AI. Whatever we do in today's context on laptop, on your PC or on any software device is that you generate something. Basically, you generate text, maybe a Word, Excel, PowerPoint or something. And then or you will generate some code, meaning you write some code, or you will create an image. If you are an artist or if you are visualization purpose, you will be doing some kind of image generation, or maybe you will create videos. Ultimately, what we do is generation of something. We will generate some code, we will generate something from yes, earlier maybe we'll use Google to get some help. But what is happening is with generative AI, you can do everything with the help of AI. That's called text to anything. Basically, you are giving a prompt. For example, if you talk to a person and then you say that I need this help, that person comes and helps you. So similarly, if you give a prompt and then it is going to give you or help you to do something, then that's called generative AI. It's a sub part of AI. AI can do a lot of different things, but generative AI is specifically a sub branch which is used to generate something based on your prompt. And now earlier it was like text to anything. Text to anything means text to text, which means if you need an article, you will write a prompt and then you will get an article. For example, I'll say that can you generate an article on global warming? Then it goes and generates an article on global warming. If you give specific details, then it will follow this. Then it came to text to image. If you say that I need an image of a puppy, then it is going to generate an image of an small dog. Then text to video. This is another thing which is currently still under progress, where you give a small prompt and you can create a video out of it. Like most of the free or paid ones are generating only 30 seconds or 1 minute video, because this takes an enormous amount of computation to happen in the backend to generate the videos. And maybe that won't be coming sooner for free. At least the paid ones will get it. Then text to code. So meaning that you give a text, write a program, something in Python, then it gives the Python code. But later, now the scenario is text to anything, which means that if you want a PPT, if you want a PowerPoint, or if you want a Excel analysis, or if you want something else to be generated. So basically, generative AI has come to text to anything. But then even that they have come up and now they are saying that anything to anything. What is anything to anything is, for example, you give text and you need image, that's possible. For example, you give image and then you want to get text out of it. For example, you give a complicated image and say that, can you say me what is in the image, or can you solve the puzzle with an image? Then that's possible. Or you give a video and then you say that I need the transcription of this video. So now AI, generative AI has come to a phase where it is called anything to anything, meaning that input can be anything, output can be anything. So that's what generally human being does. And that's what generative AI is trying to supplement, augment what we can do, maybe at faster pace. So the hardware and software, the pace at which the hardware and software coming for generative AI is unimaginable. By the end of this session, if you have never seen AI, how it is progressing, you'll feel that yes, it is making a huge difference, and it's not so far that we are going to see robotics. We are going to see AI doing everything on your laptop, on your mobiles as well. So let's get into the topic AI. code generators, or I'll call AI coding or code generators. Sometimes people may misunderstand we are trying to develop AI, but no, we are going to use AI code generators. So there are multiple code generators available in the market. In this session, we'll see some of them. Hopefully, because of the time limit, we'll see how to implement them. So prompt to code. Prompt to code, you give a prompt. Prompt is nothing but a piece of text. So first thing is I'm going to ChatGPT. Let's say the Okay, first I'm going to ChatGPT and then I'm using GPT-4o model. If you are not aware, then GPT-4o Omni model is the fast and best model from ChatGPT. I hope everyone knows ChatGPT in the session. If not, chatgpt.com is where you can see OpenAI's ChatGPT and it's free. You can sign in. And GPT-4o is the latest model which you can use for generation. So let's say that I have a project where the project is dinosaur game, dino game. If you see when there is no internet in Chrome, you will see dino game, right? So you will see a dino jumping on cactus, and that's available when you don't have an internet. So let's try to build a game in this session in a multiple ways using different large language models or using different available models. First is ChatGPT. So let's see. I wanted to say write Dino game in Python. So I'm giving a simple prompt. This is called prompt. This is just a piece of text. So you can the way you write prompt, the AI responds in that way. Meaning that if you give a very good prompt with the details, with examples, with the purpose, then it will be giving you very good outcomes. So the better you prompt, the better the outcome is. This is called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering has become one of the crucial thing in AI, that how can you make AI understand what you need? So it's like requirements. If you give requirements right, the AI will be generating things like that in a better way. So for now, I'm just giving this a Dino game in Python. Let's see what it understands. We will be checking how to write the code, how to debug the code, and how to uh, modify the code as well. Not just using ChatGPT. If you have used ChatGPT, you might be thinking this is very basic, but then later we are going to see the extensions. We are at the end, we'll see how is the future with Dev as well. So please bear patience if you have already seen this. So write Dino game. And again, we are not just showcasing this, we are going to implement this. So here, it is giving me a bunch of details. Let's try to follow these details. First thing is it says, okay, do pip install pygame. So this is in Python. So we are going to build a game. And then I'm going to Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is an IDE which is free to download. And whatever we are trying to showcase here is mostly free. If there is a paid version, I'll say you what it is. So I'm going to create a new file. So let's say I'm going to create a new file. And then let's say dino dot. Can you go on mute? Whoever is on mute, please go on mute. Sci-fi, if you can see if someone comes on mute and they are not muting it, can you please mute from your side? And also, if you have any questions, please go to the chat window, drop your questions. We'll have last 15 minutes for any Q&A. But keep your questions in chat window so that we have them. So I'm giving dino.py and then I'm going to paste what is here. So first thing is, it says pip install pygame. So I'm going to terminal because I need to install that package. I'm selecting the Python environment. So here it is, pip install pygame. So I'm installing pygame. Let's see if this, okay, it's already there on my PC. Then I'm copying this dino game. It's okay, copy, and then I'm pasting it here. So that's it. So then let's see what are the next steps. So that's it. He says you need to have Dino 1, first frame running Dino, Dino 2, and cactus.png. So there are 3 images which is needed. For now, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to just run this script. So to run this script, I'm going run and start running without debugging. Yeah, I'm going to simply run this. Okay, now it gave an error, no file dino.png. So I'll go here, copy this, because for example, you got an error and you are going to ask ChatGPT for an error. The error is very clear here. Dino1.png is not available. But just to check with ChatGPT, we are going to ChatGPT and say that, okay, I got this error. So let's see what it gives. So it says us dino1.png, dino2.png, and cactus.gng is needed for your thing. So let's go to internet and let's see dino PNG image. Okay, so there is a Dino PNG. Let's see if there is transparent images. Here is something. Let's see if this is. Okay. So I'm copying this, save image as, and then let's keep that as Dino. I'll also save this as Dino2 dot because it says two images are needed. So I'm keeping Dino2, and then let's keep cactus. Saving cactus. Here it is. Let's keep this cactus. So now we have three images, and then let's go ahead and run this because I have saved Dino1, Dino2, and cactus.png. So as per the code, it should be. So it should be saying that Dino1 PNG, Dino2 PNG, cactus.png should be there. So I don't know anything else. Let's say I don't know anything in Python. I'm just creating what it says, and then I'm saying, okay, run it. So now you say that image dino2.png. No file dino1 found in working directory, document mfird.
There's a difference in the name DY and DI, so that's why.
Okay, yeah. That's the difference. Let me change the name. Let's rerun this. Yeah, it ran. So if you see this, there is a dino game here. Now, what is the issue? The issue is the size of it is very high. So if you see, basically there is a game ongoing, but the size is too high. So now I'm going to ChatGPT and say that size of the images are too big. Can you please keyframe code to. So what it does is now it says that, okay, let's reduce the size to this one. And then it is going to give me the code where it says, okay, I'm going to reduce the size of it. So if you see the instruction, it says the dinosaur will be 30 into 30, the cacti will be 15 into 30. So once it is generated, I'm going to copy this, paste it, save, and then I'm going to run this. So basically it has changed everything, but let's see. So this is the dino game. Now I need score for this. For example, let's say I need score for this. Basically, it has changed the game in a way that it is just setting the colors. But now I can ask that, okay, I need only images, then it will change the code. But for now, I'll keep this. I'll say that add score to the top right. Now it gives me code to add score on the top right. Once I copy paste this, it is going to add the score of it. So basically, this way, it's not just this one. Now I wanted, for example, let's say I wanted this in HTML, JavaScript, not just Python, but I wanted this in. Let's copy this and paste it. So here it is score now. So now this is my cactus. I have a working functional game. That's it. So this is so simple and easy. Similarly, if you have any other code which is needed in any language or most languages is supported. So now let's say that I want the same game in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So now it is going to give me HTML, JavaScript, and CSS files. So let's go ahead in Visual Studio. Now I'm going to create 3 files. One is index.html, and then I'm going to copy what is being said here. So I need it says 3 files are needed. So first one is index.html. I'm pasting it, and the second one is styles.css. So second one is pasted. The third one is script.js. So now if you go ahead, and run this, hopefully you should be seeing the game. Here is the game. So how much time it has taken to generate this is like to develop this is like few minutes. So similarly, if you have anything which you need to develop as a part of your personal project or as a part of your academics or as a part of your enterprise, you can use these tools, especially ChatGPT 4.0 is super awesome model, super awesome model. Earlier, to run the same thing, you might be taking 1 hour to keep the prompts and everything in ChatGPT earlier versions. But now GPT-4o is so advanced that it almost gives you the right answers. Now, for example, you wanted to create, let's say that you wanted to create an Android app. Now just give that. So now it will give you all the directions which is needed, code which is needed to create an Android app. Honestly, I can create an Android app less than an hour with any game or with any functionalities which is needed. So for example, if you want to do front end full stack development, yes, that can also be done within few minutes. If you know really how good to play with this tools, it's so powerful that within few minutes or within few hours, you will be able to develop full-fledged website, full-fledged app, full-fledged automation, full-fledged Python or desktop or script or anything which you want. So if you implement this, automatically you will create a APK for Android and you will be able to push that into um, Android store and you will be. So for example, this is a child's game, honestly speaking. If a child knows exactly how to give instructions and follow those instructions, then it will automatically, they will also be able to follow the instruction and create things. So this is ChatGPT, and there are other tools like Meta's Llama 3 and then Google Gemini. They will do the same thing, but I have tested all these things, out of which ChatGPT 4.0 model is doing far better. Same thing if you wanted to do things in this, I have tested, but let's just give the first basic prompt which we gave. So this is Gemini, Google Gemini, which is at this point I have free version. You can go to paid version as well, which will be little better than free version, Gemini Pro. So here is the game. Almost it also used a Pi game, and then it is giving me same kind of result. However, sometimes I have seen that when I give instructions, follow-up instructions, it doesn't do that well. But um, again, this is also free, so we can also use it well for programming as well. And there is Meta's models that are available. Unfortunately, in India, it is not available yet, Meta AI, but Llama 3 is also way powerful. Our Code Llama is also powerful. These are different models. Those are available. Uh, Good to know these things, because sometimes few things may go offline, sometimes few things may go paid. So it's better to know that there are many alternatives as well. There's also, for example, if you don't know Hugging Face, so Hugging Face is where basically open source communities. So there is Hugging Face chat as well. So in Hugging Face chat, you will be able to change the models. So whatever the models you know of, if you are not aware what our models are, each model has different capacities, different parameters, different weightages, which can do better than other. For example, Google has developed Gemini. OpenAI has developed GPT 4.0. Meta has developed Llama. So similarly, there are tons of models. So here Mistral, uh, Llama 3, you can see that why. So this Gamma is another model. Mistral 5.3 is a model from Microsoft. So there are multiple models. We can use any of the model, and then we can ask questions. So Hugging Face is another place. If you want to try out different models, you can also try out and you can ask the questions. So this is first round. Let's see the next one. So the next interesting thing is extensions in Visual Studio. So basically what is happening is these are evolving a lot. So if you are writing code in your favorite IDE like Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code or JetBrains or any other IDE, now there are extensions available for this. Extensions available for this, and those extensions are really, really powerful. For example, in this case, okay, showcase this one. So in this case, I'm going to showcase you two other very powerful tools. One is Copilot, GitHub Copilot, and second one is Amazon Q Developer. So this Amazon Q Developer is free. So let me write it down so that you know. So Amazon Q Developer, GitHub Copilot, these are two powerful tools which will be helpful in writing your code. So if you want to write everything in your local and try to get help, then you need to install extensions for Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is one of the universal coding ID, which is favorable by many of the developers. So you can also, if you are not using the Visual Studio Code, better to start using Visual Studio Code. So go here and then search for AWS Q Developer. Yeah, AWS Q. So if you select AWS Q, then go ahead and install it. So if you first time it will show install it. And then once you install, you will be seeing an icon here. This is an Amazon Q. So once you see here, it will first say sign in for free. If I sign out, then it will say sign in for free. Because of the demo, if I sign out, sometimes I forget the password, so I don't want to sign out at this point. But it is simple, straightforward. Once you install Amazon Q Developer, then what happens is that you'll see sign in for free or sign up for free. So once you click on sign up for free, then you will go to AWS website where you need to give your email ID and then create password, and it will give a builder ID. So once your browser is done, then you will automatically sign in. And then here you will see Amazon Q. So once you click on this Amazon Q, you will see all this things. Once you see this and once you see here, then this means that, okay, your Amazon Q is running. So Amazon Q is free for individual purposes. So you can start using right today. You will start using. So there is a Amazon Q chat, where you can say that, okay, how can Amazon Q help? So it gives me some instructions how it can help. So there are many things it can do. So let me see if I can open the home page of this. So let me go here. So here I'm selecting this code. Let's say I'm selecting this code and then right click on this and you will see Amazon Q, send to Amazon Q. Here, if you see explain, refactor, fix, optimize, send to prompts. So I'm saying explain. So when you say explain, if you see here, explain the following part of code, and then it is going to give me that what it is, what each thing is doing. So that this Amazon chart, Q chart is really helpful. And if you want to ask any question, for example, I need to ask any question related to, let's say, uh, how to create Android app out of website. So that if I give any question, I don't have to go to anywhere like ChatGPT or anything. If I give a question, then Amazon Q will be able to help us directly within the Amazon Q chat. But then apart from that, there are many other things which it can do. For example, there is an error. If there is an error and if you say that fix, then it is going to fix it. And if you say refactor, it will give all other alternatives which we can use to refactor it. If you say optimize, if there is junk of code, then it will optimize as well. And then, for example, if you want to write, let's say that in this Python file. And then if you want to write anything, yeah, for example, click connect here. If you see Amazon Q is generating. So here, if you see that main, it has written the code. So if you say tab, you can actually use that. So IntelliSense is basically there is instant generation of the code with the help of Amazon Q. For example, if you are writing anything, function factorial. So factorial, if you say this, then it will generate the next line of code as well. See, so the factorial function is written. So whatever you need, if you start typing it, it will give the IntelliSense, and then you give tab, then it will be able to generate the code. Either it's in Python, either it's in front-end things, or either it's in SQL, wherever you need. You just start typing it, and then it will be giving you the code. So when you start writing all those things, for example, here it is, if I am here, and then when I say enter, when see, it says pygame.display.set icon. It is saying that dino.png. So it is expecting, because earlier we don't have dino.png. Now it is saying that, okay, I'm going to set a icon dino.png. Earlier in this code, there is no dino.png. We had colors, but now it is suggesting me to say, when I say tab, now type enter, then it is going to suggest me the next one. So this way, if you write a function, it will generate all the function for you. And then if you want to just continue writing line by line, it auto suggests. Basically, it's kind of an auto suggestion where you can start typing in and then it will give you suggestions. This is Amazon Q. Amazon Q. If you want the whole function to be written, for example, if I remove this and I wanted to write whole main, when I start typing main, then it will give me the whole code. Let's see. See, it has given me the whole code. So this way it is really, really helpful. Sometimes it also gives suggestions, not just one. So you can see multiple suggestions. If you use the right arrow or the one which is showcased here, if you see this. So here is the suggestion. There is one suggestion. This is second suggestion. If you see, if it is useful, just to say tab, then you will be seeing all the code written by it. Pygame.quit. It has given all the code for Dino game. So this is such powerful, and it is free. By the way, it is super free. Now there is a freaky and super useful feature from Amazon Q, which is not available yet in GitHub Copilot or some other extensions. That is, when I go to Amazon chat and when I say that, sorry, this is GitHub. This is Amazon Q. And then there is a new feature called, when you give slash, here it says slash dev transform help clear. So now transform is if you have a Java project in 8 and if you want to migrate that to latest version of Java 17, then that can transform the whole project into latest Java. But what is this dev? So there is something called agents, AI agents. This is something which you will be hearing, something called AI agents. So far what is happening is that you give something, for example, you give a text, write a Python code. It is going to write a Python code, but then it is not going to create the file. For example, you want Dino game to be created on its own in a new file, or you want the existing file to be modified. That's not possible. Basically, today you will get some suggestions or some text and you can copy paste or use it within the IDE. But then can it automatically modify? Can it automatically create new files? Can it automatically update the existing files without copy pasting or doing anything? Then Amazon Q has a new feature called slash dev. Maybe if it is not making sense, don't worry. So far what we discussed, if this is first time, this may be overwhelming. But then for the people who understands this is very super critical and this is going to come and this is going to change the way how people are going to do coding. This is going to change the way how the software development used to be. So when I say slash dev, now I'm saying that create snake game in Python. So earlier we developed this Dino game. Now I'm saying I'm giving a new task to it. I'm giving a task. This is called task. And I'm giving a task to it that create snake game in Python. And I'm using slash dev. So when I give it, the first thing which AI agents do is they plan. They plan. What is the plan? The plan is, okay, for snake game, we need to have a main file called snake.py or game.py, and then it will say that, okay, for the snake, we need this components. And at the end, I need to test it. So that's called plan. And once the plan is done, then it implements, meaning that it will create the code. It will create the code and it will update the file or it will create a new file. And then it will test it and then it will be ready for you to execute it or test from your side. So it has generated a plan. So the first step is it is going to generate the plan. It says that, okay, there is dino.py file. Let me replace the logic for snake game. And then it is going to create a tester snake to test whether the snake game works or not. And then it is consider removing the web files. It is going to remove these files, update the README file. Because this is not relevant. It is thinking that, okay, I need to do this snake game and remove everything from Dino and remove the JavaScript file. That's okay. But for now, let's say generate code. So when I say generate code, what is happening is it is in the backend, it is trying to create look at the existing files, and then it is trying to create either new files or update existing files. And it is doing on its own. So sooner you will just give a prompt, like I need an Android app, and Amazon Q or things like Amazon Q or GitHub Copilot, they will create the whole project. So the agenda is to create the whole project with just a prompt, with just the requirements. It is going to create the whole project for us. We are not even going to copy paste it, or we are not going to go into editor and start writing the code or get the suggestions. So level 1 was copy pasting from ChatGPT. Level 2 was doing it directly in the IDE. Third level is you don't do anything, just give the prompt and it will create the files. It will do everything for us. It will be little slow because it is going to do a lot of different things in the backend. And this is using the lower level of model because it's free. It's not pro. If it is pro, it will be a little faster. But then It will take some time and it will come up with, okay, I'm going to add 3 files. I'm going to delete these files. I'm going to update these files. That is what it is going to do. So once you accept all those changes, it will change the files directly. So that's what the next level is. These are called AI agents. AI agents is automatically doing everything for us, automatically doing things for us. At this point, this is trying to do on the Visual Studio Code. I mean, Visual Studio Code files. But sooner you will see AI agents running on our laptop, running on our PCs, which means that if you give any text, for example, I give a text in Copilot or some other AI agent, like change my background and then start playing YouTube music, then it is going to change your background and start playing the YouTube music without you doing it actually. So that's called AI agents, and it will be able to do anything on your um, local laptops, or it is going to do any automations, or it is going to develop the projects. It can start doing things easily. So now, before it comes, let me showcase the next one, is which is GitHub Copilot. This may be a overkill for one session, but I'm giving only the just intro of these tools so that you can start exploring it. Yeah, here it is. So it made changes, it generated the code, and it says that, okay, there is change in this. So dino.pn. So what it does is it has removed most of the things and it has changed most of the things according to Snake game. So it removed dino related stuff and it created snake food, snake score, all these things. It made these changes. So once you say insert code, it is going to change everything, and then you will see that the existing file will be different. So now the file will be different. If it is a new project, then you will understand that, okay, it has done the right thing, because it is an existing project where you have Dino game. So you won't understand what it does. But then if it is a new project, then it will be creating a new file called snake.py or game.py, and it will be creating that file. So that is interesting thing. So it has come up with these changes, and once we make these changes, or once you accept these changes, you will be able to run the snake game. Automatically changes the code. That's what the interesting thing is. If there is 5 files which it needs to make changes, then it will come up and say that, okay, we need to make changes in 5 files as well. And there's also interesting things. For example, there is a security related issue. It can also find out security related issue. It will have the full control of your code base, and it will go through all your code base and it will do fixes. It will be able to uh, help you with the code changes if you have any new requirements to change or to create new or to update or to fix. Amazon Q is really helpful. The next one extension is GitHub Copilot. So when you go to extensions, GitHub Copilot, when you select it, install it. So once you install it, uh, GitHub Copilot is not free. Maybe there is a trial. GitHub Copilot is $10 to $19, but GitHub Copilot is so powerful because there is so much strength in it. It is almost gives you way better suggestions than any other things. It is the most powerful Copilot, or most powerful suggestions and most powerful extension available in Visual Studio Code. It's $10 to $19 per person, I guess. But if you are a student, or if you are a teacher, or if you are doing research, then you can go to Google and search GitHub Copilot for students, free for students, or GitHub Copilot free for teachers. Then you will be able to get, if you have an existing ID card, or if you are still studying and it is valid, then they will be looking at your case and they will give GitHub Copilot for free. Even if you are in the enterprise, it's just $19, I guess. Try to get, if you are into software field, try to get GitHub Copilot. It is super powerful, super powerful. I'll showcase how it is. Once you install it, you will see GitHub Copilot. And then this is also having GitHub Copilot is also having chat. So the functionalities of these assistants are kind of same, more or less same. Now I'm going to files, and then I'm going to create a new file. Let's say snake dot py. And then here, once you open the file, first it says control I. So if I give control I, then it asks ask Copilot for what you want to do. So I'm giving control I and I'm saying that write Python code for snake game. That's it. I'm giving the command and it is going to generate me code. So here is the code for it. For some reason it has, yeah, here it is. I have just changed the code because sometimes when it is giving error, we have to change the prompt and then you'll be able to see this. Okay, it has generated the code for me. And if you just say accept, then you will see that code already. And if you want suggestions, you can also do that. So wherever you need a suggestion, here you can see GitHub Copilots. Once it's installed, you can see here, show Copilot status menu. And then you will see some icon here. So once you click on this icon, it will open. And then you whatever you want to be done, then it will be able to do it. Or you can also select something. And then you see this extract method, modify using Copilot. So modify using Copilot, if you select it and if you say that I need to modify this block or optimize this block or fix this, even if you get errors, you can also ask Copilot to fix it and it will be helping you with the suggestions. And as I said, this is also having chat features. So when you say slash, so here we'll see at the rate terminal, if there is anything in the terminal which you need help with, this is helpful. If you want to explain a code, then it's slash explain. And if you want such fix all this thing, I mean, basically I have used most of this, but then the feature of control I is something super helpful in this. And then if you want to get explanation or change anything, or if you have general question, for example, I need to. So it is going to give me all the suggestions. And the reference. So basically it is taking snake game as reference and it is giving me examples how to do it. So here the reference, if you see snake.py is the reference, then it is giving me all the instructions which needs to be done. So here, if I want to run this, these suggestions, this is important as well. If it gives any suggestions here, instantly you can say that, okay, I go ahead, insert it into terminal. So when I click it, you see that this is inserted into terminal. And then if it gives any code and if it gives any code and then, for example, let's say that I'm saying make changes so snake looks fancy or load an image or anything, then it gives me code. So here you can copy the code or so you can copy the code or keep cursor here and say that, okay, inserted the cursor. So it has been copied the code. Here it is. So basically all these tools are making the software developers life so easy. And then even if you don't know code, honestly, sometimes I don't know the code which I am writing, but I just use these tools and then see the outcome and then go back and say that, okay, make this change. And then it is going to make the change because it remembers the conversation. It makes life of the developer so easy. So these are all coming to low code, no code. These are all coming to your desktop. These are all coming to your websites way faster. Okay. So now with this, I will stop this GitHub Copilot and Amazon Q. the first thing which you need to try is Amazon Q. And then let's look at the last topic of today's session, which is Davin AI software engineer. So now what is happening is that
I have a question here, Shahansha. Should I ask it now or
no,
later?
wait till the end. Keep the questions in the chat window and we'll ask it at the end because it will interrupt the flow. Okay, Davin AI software engineer. Now, what is happening is we are hiring human beings to do some software tasks. But then sooner there will be AI software engineers who will be able to do software coding or develop softwares and publish, maintain, debug, test this software. So Devin is first AI software engineer, which is developed by Cognition company, I guess. And this is right now not available, but in a private preview. But it's very important to know what is coming in the market. So Devin, let's look at what it is and what it can do. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
Hey, I'm Scott from.
Can you hear the audio?
Yes.
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 And today I'm really excited to introduce you to Devin, the first AI software engineer. Let me show you an example of Devin in action. I'm going to ask Devin to benchmark the performance of Llama on a couple different API providers. From now on, Devin is in the driver's seat. First, Devin makes a step-by-step plan of how to tackle the problem. After that, it builds the whole project using all the same tools that a human software engineer would use. Devin has its own command line, its own code editor, and even its own browser. In this case, Devin decides to use the browser to pull up API documentation so that it can read up and learn how to plug into each of these APIs. Here, Devin runs into an unexpected error. Devin actually decides to add a debugging print statement, reruns the code with the debugging print statement, and then uses the error in the logs to figure out how to fix the bug. Finally, Devin decides to build and deploy a website with full styling as the visualization. You can see the website here. All of this is possible today because of the advancements that we've made in both reasoning and long-term planning. It's a really hard problem, and we've only just started, but we're super excited about the progress that we've made so far. In the meantime, if you'd like to try out Devin on your own real-world tasks, send us a request below, and we'd be happy to forward it to Devin.
So what is basically Devin is, there's also open source alternative, which I'll tell you in a bit. So what Devin has or can do is basically Devin is a AI agent. So it has access to LLM or GPTs. So it has access to GPT, and it has access to console. It has access to IDE, and it has access to browser. So basically, if I'm a software engineer, I'll be using Google, I'll be running things on console, I'll be using an IDE, and I'll be using a browser. So these are the things which I need to develop my project. And AI agent is also trying to do the same thing. It has access to all these four, and then it will use the knowledge from GPT, and it will start running things on the console, and it will write the code in IDE, and it will test it on a browser if it is needed. If the browser is not needed, then it will just create the console IDE, and in the IDE, it will create the code files. So this is what, so now it can also do documentation. Basically, it has access to files, right? So it can also write documentations as well. So with this, if I have a requirement, like I need to develop a e-commerce website, let's say that I'm going to sell plants in it, then go to Devin and say that I need to create an e-commerce website on selling plants, then it will automatically create the website, complete end-to-end website. And it will, can everyone go on mute? So it will be automatically creating the whole website for it. So this is super amazing. And honestly, people talk that, okay, will AI is going to replace jobs or going to create an issue? The first industry which is under threat because of AI is software industry. The second one is customer support. So customer support is definitely going to have an impact. And then software industry is also going to have an impact. There is no reason why we should be hiring a fresher or why we should be hiring an experienced person rather than hiring a AI software engineer. Like for example, if a monthly AI software engineer is only $100, we are paying $100 or $50 per each person, and doesn't make sense because AI software engineer has been trained on vast amounts of data. Basically, it is all trained on existing Stack Overflow, existing GitHub, and then it has so much of information and how to develop a project, and it will be able to do it. So this is definitely a big threat, as the statements always keep saying that AI is not going to replace uh, workforce or humans, but the person who knows how to use AI to do his task will be replacing the person who doesn't know how to use AI. So the person who knows AI will be having the advantage. Now is the time. So what is the next steps? What is the future? The future is automatically AI agents, AI software engineers in terms of here. And is also now with GPT-4o, there is also a big market for robotics as well. Now think that these models are deployed into robots and which they can automatically create patterns, they can automatically have access to things, and they can automatically write code, and they can automatically create everything. So robotics is next big thing. And then AI software engineers is the next big thing. And honestly, people will not be writing everything from scratch. They'll be just using it, give the prompt, write prompt, and get the things done. So for the people who are interested in Devin, and then there is also Open Devin. Open Devin is free, and you can go to Open Devin. You can start learning about Open Devin, how it works, and you can install it, and you can actually give a prompt and it will be able to do it. But Devin is paid, Open Devin is free. So there is also a open source community which is working on a lot of different things. So basically, where you need to start is start using this. For example, Amazon Q Developer. If you have never used Amazon Q Developer, install it in Visual Studio, and it's free. You can start using it, become a pro. Now Amazon Q developers next plan is to become like Devin, because it's already started using AI agents. It will be not only just saying suggestions, but it is also going to create the files or create the whole project for us. So when you give /dev as showcased, when you use /dev, it will be able to create the whole project for us. And it's in the initial stages, but these are going to get better and better. Obviously, GitHub Copilot will not be GitHub, Microsoft will not be sitting idle. The next is they'll just say that, okay, you enter the prompt, I'll create the whole project for you, just like Devin. So you enter the prompt in Visual Studio, I'll create the whole project for you. That's going to happen. So what we need to do is we need to start looking into what is coming into the market and then start using them and start developing things. If you have never developed Android app, use Amazon Q Developer. Even teach to your kid and he will be able to create an Android app, push it to the Android store. And then if you have never developed a website, go ahead and develop a website and push it. And you ask GitHub Copilot, Amazon Q, where should I host it free? So you'll see a lot of places where you can host your website free. I have my own website with WordPress. Similarly, what's happening in the market? Go into, if you have recently not seen Google I/O, I would suggest that look into these conferences, Google I/O, Microsoft Build. You'll know a lot of things that is happening in the market, especially in terms of AI. So basically, there are two streams. One is developing AI. Developing AI is very specialized. Only very few people can do it. But then using AI, this is where people should be good at using AI so that we can use it in our specific industry. I'm from construction based industry. I should know how exactly AI can be used in our industry. And there are people from marketing, there are people from commerce, there are people from different industries. They should know how to use these tools better to get their things done faster. It's not just software engineer, but also their use cases are important, right? So you have a use case to develop an app from long time, but now you don't have the software developers. Now these are all kind of software developers. You just give the prompt and you'll get the outcomes from it. So start looking into these things. There are many things which are free right away. You can start doing it. Yeah, with last one update which I wanted to showcase, another important thing is there is Unitree's yeah, this one, robotics. So robotics is so Unitree is a company which is like Boston Dynamics. A robo now, earlier it is used to cost $150K or $200K are very expensive. But now the robots with this models embedded into these robots are coming way faster into the market. Again, this is irrelevant to the topic, but then this is very, very interesting because this is coming so faster. Like sooner you will see robot in each place, maybe starting with the industries, but sooner it will, you can see this because the price of this robots are coming like $10K, $15K, $16K. The robo which I'm showing is $16K, and this is from Unitree. And this will be having all the intelligence from this AI models. So basically, the price of the robots were the first instance where there were issues because those were not used in every industry. But now the pricing and the AI models like GPT-4o will make this super, super useful and powerful. And they are getting with simulations where you can develop all these things on simulation first and then implement directly into the robot. So this era generation, before our death, we are going to see robots coming into our houses. That's going to happen. And also, this AI software engineers or AI agents is coming so faster than we expected. The development in this area, like Microsoft and OpenAI and Google, are making things way faster. They're not sleeping. Honestly, they're running 24/7 to get this AI products into market. We thought it was like a just bubble, but it's not bubble because I keep seeing this developments and I get amazed day by day what they can do. Yeah, we're open to the floor with questions. We have finished 1 hour. We'll have 15 minutes for a Q&A. There are many questions in the chat window. Let me go through it. Abrar bhai, if you can help me with any questions, if you have gone through it, do let me know.
Yeah, Shahansha, there is one question from Afroz Khan. How can SAP or Oracle or any ERP functional consultant be ready to face the newer technology challenges?
Sir, what was the question?
So any
Mhm.
SAP or Oracle or
Mhm.
any ERP functional consultant,
Mhm.
how can you face the latest
Right.
technology challenges?
Yeah. So there is another thing, AI inbuilt with softwares. So this is another thing. So what is happening is every company is doing something new. Every company is doing something new. For example, SAP, Salesforce, Microsoft Power Platform, or everything like systems like ERP, Oracle. Every software is coming up with the updates AI, which is, for example, there is a system where, let's say the ERP system, and you need to create a project and you need to create add resources to it or do something. So they are coming up with new AI features within the platform, within the product that with just a prompt, they will be able to do everything instead of for the end users. I'm saying for the end users, like for example, there is a chatbot that will be coming up for every product. There will be prompts instead of users doing it. There will be prompts that they are going to implement in each software, each website, each app, that you give the prompt and it will be doing rest of the things within the product or software. So that is going to happen. For that to happen, for example, you are in ERP and you can think that, okay, how can I implement ChatGPT 4.0 into my product? How can I bring it? Today, if a user is coming and clicking on a button like new software or new project, and then he is entering something manually. Instead of doing that, how can we implement this AI model so that he will just type what he need and everything will be done in the backend within the software? Either it's SAP, either it's Salesforce, either it's anything. How can you bring the LLM or GPTs into your product is the biggest thing which we need to do within our current technology. How we can bring this AI technology so that the life of end user becomes better. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but that is what Microsoft is doing to its products. That is what every company, either it's UiPath, SAP, Oracle, they are trying to bring this LLM capabilities to their product, so end users get benefit out of it. And if you are in that space where you are not using LLM or GPT for your development, start thinking in the direction where you can start implementing these features so that end users life become easier. If you have more questions, anything which doesn't make sense to you, you can reach out to me on my website, shahansha.com later. Okay, next question.
So it's open for the forum. So if someone has any question, you can just unmute yourself and ask question.
Hello. I
Yes.
have built one chatbot application that read data from the website, but only the main URL, the main page. But I want to collect the data from the link page also.
Mm.
How we can do it?
All right. First, custom build versus existing tools. So for your requirement, there is a tool called Copilot Studio. This is a Microsoft tool. So Copilot Studio has a direct functionality where you can enter a website and you can ask a question about the website. It goes into even the deeper layers of the website, and then it will give you answer. So there is already chatbots, are there is already low code, no code solutions for this. For your case, Copilot Studio is the answer. Copilot Studio is another product from Microsoft like GitHub Copilot. Copilot Studio has answer for your solution. You can just give the URL of the website and you ask a
Okay.
question, it will be giving you answer.
Okay. It will collect the data from the link page
Yes.
also,
Yes.
not
Yes.
only from the
Yes.
main URL page.
Yeah. Maybe I can find you the.
Because the main URL I have already is
Got it.
collecting,
Got it.
but
It will.
the
No,
link
it
is
will.
a issue.
Yeah, obviously. If it is authenticated, it won't. Obviously,
Mm.
basically what they are trying to do is Bing or Google, they already have the information of your web page, which if it is public. So it uses Bing in the back end, but it will go into all the pages. If it is public, again, I'm saying that,
Yeah, I know. If the public and the allowed.
yeah, allowed and public, yes,
Mhm.
then it will give the URL and it will be doing everything within the websites as well. Yep. Next question. in my company, ChatGPT is blocked for security purposes. Can I access this one? I cannot answer. You need to check with your company. I can't answer. So functionally, Amazon Q and ChatGPT are the theory is same. Yes.
One more question. I have help desk HTML files, okay, offline HTML files.
Mhm.
Okay. So I want to read that file, but when I try to read, because this is the HTML, but when open in the browser, it's working. Okay. But I want the collect the data from the this HTML file.
Why can't do the same thing? Go here, ask Amazon Q or ChatGPT for your question. I'm sure
Hmm.
GPT will be giving you answer. But how
Okay. Okay.
to read the information from ChatGPT?
Mm-hmm.
You can just go to chatgpt.com and use GPT-4o model. It will give exactly the answer which you are looking for. That's possible. Basically, you are
Okay.
get the
Okay.
text
We'll
out of
try.
HTML.
Okay.
That's possible.
Okay. We'll try.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, I have a question. I have two questions basically. First one is how can we utilize the AI capabilities, like making use of these sort of tools in making our learning much more efficient? Because the traditional mode of approach is no longer existed. So how we can make this learning of new technology or something like that more efficient? Second one is a lot of people are trying to make a transition to Gen AI or ML just by listening to the buzzwords of, okay, this is coming into the market, this is coming. So in a sort of confused state wherein whether we have to become more skilled, like making use of these sort of tools in our own field. Like for example, if I'm in front end development, so just going on more powered by using these fields in the front end development itself, or uh, think about transitions, or how is it?
Right. That's a good question. So honestly speaking, everyone today on LinkedIn is a AI developer. They'll do a Gen AI generate basic session, and then they'll say, okay, now Gen AI. So there are three different things in Gen AI. One is developing Gen AI. So this is most complicated part. And this is only possible when we have super huge compute power, super huge algorithms already, and super huge infrastructure, everything. This is gone case. Mostly if we are end user, we don't know. We won't. So the second one is using this Gen AI. The faster and better the person who uses Gen AI is the one who is going to get most credit, because developing Gen AI is most hard and complicated, and it's possible with only few companies and few people. Using Gen AI is the best thing to do. Using the tools like Amazon Q Developer, GitHub, or the Copilot Studio, or AI software engineers. Another third one is use cases for Gen AI. So you know how to do it, what to do it. But then if you don't know exactly the use case for business, for example, I'm from marketing and I don't know really how to use Gen AI, then I become dummy. So these two areas are where people are excelling at. These two areas are where people can learn something. How can you bring it to your industry? How can you bring it to your use case? How can you bring, for example, you have stories, for example, in your case, you have stories, and it takes 4 weeks to develop one story. And using Gen AI and say that, okay, now I don't have GitHub Copilot. And then say that, okay, I need a license for GitHub Copilot, which is $10. But then that 4 weeks sprint is going to be 4 hours. Honestly, for front-end developers or web full stack developers, that's where the huge impact is, because GitHub Copilot is trained on whole GitHub. Now it has the whole information of GitHub, and it can develop things way faster. You just say what you need, or you give the code to it, and it will be able to create your next story. Give the story to it, and it will do everything which is needed. So bringing those tools first in our team will give you competitive advantage. And learning how to implement. The next thing is, if I am not attached to Gen AI at any way, one is using these tools. Second one is bringing this into your project. For example, if your project is not using, meaning that your project is e-commerce project and you are just developing something which is traditional and you have never brought Gen AI into it, suggest bringing some Gen AI or do a pilot for Gen AI, which means that you are trying to bring GPT-4o models capabilities into your product. into your product. Meaning, as a developer, you are trying to bring those APIs of GPT-4o into this. If you have not seen videos from Microsoft Build, I would suggest go through Microsoft Build, and then if there is a user website and there is a chatbot which we need to develop. Earlier it was traditional chatbot, but now the chatbots can speak. GPT-4o model has given us access to easily, naturally speak with end customers. And then even with video, you can have interaction with the user in real time. So real-time AI has become real-time Gen AI is the next big thing. If you have, if in your product there is an option to bring Gen AI within your product, then do a pilot in it. That's what will help you to get into the next levels. If you have never used a Gen AI APIs for OpenAI, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's what people are doing. They are learning how to implement Gen AI in the project they are working on. And they are using tools like GitHub Copilot to make things faster. Yeah, next question. Let me look into the chat window.
One question I have is such kind of session happens every week.
MFIRD generally conducts these kind of sessions once in a week. Every Sunday we have 11 o'clock session, but it's not just on AI. It will be a diverse mix of different things related to software, sometimes on marketing, sometimes on AI, sometimes on RPA, sometimes on something else. So keep an eye on this channel. And also there is
From where I can get this update? I got this forwarded message from my friend. So for this, from where can I get this update on these sessions?
There is a group. If you can send the phone number to me or to Saif Abrar Bhai, then we'll be able to add you to a group, or maybe
So,
keep you.
yeah, Shahansha Shaik, we have a metaverse channel as well, so, which already Saif Bhai has shared. You can just follow that channel. Inshallah, you are going to get the latest updates every week, what kind of webinars we are getting. So that is the right place to go. And for any recordings, if you want to go through it, so we have tinyurl.com/mfidis. So these two places you keep on watching.
Right. There's a good question here. If you use these code generators, will there be any copyright issues? This is something we need to ask legal. Every company is having questions on this. Especially image generators, video generators, art generators are having more lawsuits than code generators. But basically, there is also issues. So it's better if you are using it for personal, and it's very good. If you are using it for organization, first check with your organization whether these tools are allowed in your organization or not. Without knowledge of your company knowing that you are using these tools and generating code, there will be an issue. If your company has gone through all the legal and says that, okay, you can go ahead and use GitHub Copilot, then go ahead and use it for enterprise purposes. So enterprise decision is not single person. It will be a company decision, because there will be issues like IP copyright issues. Especially in our industry, we had copyright issues with image generators. So we don't go for image generators because someone's art may come and we may be sued. But for code related stuff, sometimes Microsoft gives guarantee because GitHub is from Microsoft and they own it. Once they own it, they are good. But there are some code generators in the market which has scraped information from Stack Overflow. So those code generators, if we are using it, maybe we are in trouble, because Stack Overflow has never given permission except for few, like OpenAI, they have given permission to stuff, but others they are not. So there will be an issue. So if you are using in a corporate world, make sure that your company is aware of the situation. Please post your questions here by joining.
I have a question. So, for a freshers or someone who has begun making his career, so is there any roadmap or anything like that so that he can make a career in this field?
Yes. Basically, I would say that start using this free tools first. Start using this free tools. And the next one is when you are trying to do Gen AI certifications, try to do Gen AI certifications from Microsoft and try to do Gen AI certifications from Google. every company, including Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they're doing free Gen AI certifications or free Gen AI learning paths. Even if you are a fresher, even if you are experienced person, go Google it, free Gen AI certification from Google or Microsoft or Amazon. Do the certification so you know the basics of it. The next one is start using tools like this, and then start creating something. If you have never created Android app, create it. If you have never created website, create it, and then add it to your resume. Add it to your resume that, okay, I have GitHub, and here are the projects which I developed, and here are the certifications which I did. Here are the tools which I use. And the next one is start building things with the help of Gen AI APIs. For example, if you have not used OpenAI model APIs, so build something with this. So once you build something with this OpenAI APIs, then you can say that, okay, I'm an AI developer, or I'm a Gen AI developer. So basically, developing Gen AI is something, but using Gen AI and then developing something is different. So what we need to do is we need to use OpenAI models or Google Gemini models APIs, because OpenAI has free API keys. You can use this to develop something. For example, you wanted to develop text to presentation. So there are companies which do this. You give a prompt and then it will generate a PowerPoint. So with the APIs, we should be able to do this as well. So if you know how to use APIs, so when you give prompt and send it to OpenAI models, then if you want to develop a presentation, use your Python code, bring this API, and then convert this text to presentation. That's possible. Do something like this, even if you are fresher or even if you are experienced. But then the first is learning paths. So let me showcase that as well. Yeah, Google Gen AI course. Yeah, introduction to generative AI. So Google Cloud Skills Boost. So this one is free. You can start doing this. I have finished this course, I guess. I have finished this course.
So how much time normally it takes you to get introduced to this tool and get certified?
There's no certification to use tool. For example, there's no certification to use this, but then there are certifications for these things. For example, generative AI full course. So these are learning paths. Maybe if you are interested, you can just ping me on LinkedIn. I'll send you the links as well. Or maybe I have posted it in my LinkedIn in the past. So there are courses in generative AI from Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. There is another important thing, Copilot. Microsoft's AI suite is called Copilot. So go to copilot.microsoft.com, and this is where actually you will be able to do everything. And this is also, Copilot is also free. So use this. Copilot is an app on mobile, and Copilot is available on web as well. This is another thing. So Microsoft generative AI courses are also available. Google generative courses are also available. Do certifications. That's the first step to do. Second step is use this APIs to develop something. Third one is into your use case. Bring it into your use case. Bring Gen AI into your use case. But to do those faster, use the skills. GitHub Copilot and Amazon Q Developer. And sooner, when these are free, Devin AI software engine, there will be Open Devin, and there is also something called Devika. Those are also available. Start using it. So know the news of AI. Again, the first step is know the news of AI, where it is going. That's very important. So let's go into the next questions. How can you see the demand for AI compliance and governance? Oh, yeah, the other area. So the other areas is responsible AI task force, or I would say AI COE. So these are the other hot cake areas. So what is happening is each company has a fear. Can I implement it? Will I fail? Is there any compliance issues? Is there any risk? Or is there any IP or intellectual property or these issues? So they are dealing it by investing into a team. So they will create a team in every company. They'll stand up a AI vertical, which is called AI Center of Excellence, AI Task Force, or AI Core Group, or something like that. And they will look into multiple things. It's not just innovation in AI. Innovation in AI is only one part, or implementing AI into our applications is one part. But then the other biggest parts are we developing a responsible AI? Because every company has a fear. If I implement any AI product, will this remove my workforce? Every workforce has this fear. Will there be an issues? And then there is also, will this be having an issue with copyrights, IP? And will this be compliant with my existing products? Will the data which I have, will that be going to public cloud, or will that be used for training purposes? Initially, there was many fears regarding ChatGPT, because whatever you put in ChatGPT, those are being used for training as. So that AI COE is one thing. And AI security. If you are from cyber security, the next big thing is AI security. AI security and compliance and privacy is going to be a big area. If you are into that, immediately switch into AI security. There are many flaws with AI at this point. The people who are with, in fact, OpenAI, there is a drama. The person who is responsible for security, he has resigned from OpenAI, saying that these people are developing AI at a rapid pace, but they are never considering AI security aspect. So there is a big scope for AI security as well. Not just the implementation of AI. AI surrounding areas is also very much important as well. Microsoft OpenAI, they are now focusing only on innovation, but not on this aspect. So every company will have these roles and should have these roles, and they will be continuing doing that because they want their data to be at topmost priority.
If I use using AI, generative AI, means maybe he take my personal data.
Will that use my personal data? What tool you
Because
are? What
means,
tool you are using?
server as my server access. Maybe it's, is it possible? Because everything is now it's a third party.
Yeah. So that's where these are all very valid questions. So for example, if you are using Amazon Q Developer, Copilot, these are all cloud versions. They are using cloud. Sometimes they read your files. So that's the reason you need to check with your company. Can I use these tools? Because if you are sending your code basically to a cloud, to a model, and the model reads your files and then gives you the response. So this is very serious offense if you are in a corporate world, and that is not allowed. So make sure.
Also,
Yeah.
also we saw the Hugging Face. Maybe it's not very secure.
Yeah. No. There is next thing that is called small LLMs, like large language model. There is something called small language model, which will be locally available, which means that everything can be done on local. So Microsoft has come up with recently a concept called Copilot plus PCs, which means that these PCs will have everything on local, and you can run things on local, basically running AI on locally. So there you'll see mobile phones having AI locally, laptops having AI locally. So these are all models. Basically, these are nothing but models, but these models are huge, meaning that one model may be 100 GB, 200 GB, such long. But then Microsoft has come up with a new model called 5.3, and this is SLM. Can someone go on mute who is talking? So there's small language models which can run on your laptops as well. So sooner that fear of sending code or everything will be taken away with the help of locally running AI. But for now, for today, if you want to use AI, unfortunately, cloud APIs are useful. OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, sometimes they tell that, no, we are not using the data to retrain it. But then the safest bet is to use Azure. If you have Azure and these models either from Hugging Face or OpenAI, you can deploy it in Azure and then within your Azure tenant. So every company has Azure or AWS tenants, right? So you can use your own tenant and deploy the models there so that they are not going outside of your organization. This will be sitting within your organization. So Azure OpenAI is the safest bet. Instead of using outside organization stuff, Azure OpenAI is the safest bet. So which means that your model is deployed into your Azure cloud, and you will sending the data within your Azure, not outside of your tenant. Maybe more you can start following up on that. To be an AI developer, what are the requirements? Python will be the best one to start. If it is a language you are asking, Python is the best one to start with for AI development. Yeah, Python is what they use to start developing AI. But then to start using AI, whatever you know, for example, if you are a front-end developer, back-end developer, or if you are a .NET developer, doesn't matter. You can use this APIs to develop Gen AI within your products. I'm not sure if you are able to distinguish this these things. This is very important to distinguish. To develop Gen AI like large language model, I'm going to develop large language model. This is a completely a different phase. But then I'm using Gen AI in my project, then this is a different thing. I'm just going to use APIs, or I'm going to use small language models or Azure OpenAI to develop within my project is different. But Python is the first language to choose. How can SAP or Oracle or any ERP functional consultant be ready to face the newer challenges? SAP and Oracle, they are coming up with their Gen AI tools within their platforms. If you are part of the development, then you are in the best spot. But if you are not part of that Gen AI development, if you are into some other space where you are just doing SAP related coding, all those things, then try to bring this large language model APIs into your existing project where you are implementing SAP or Oracle, and then see if you can make those enhancements. And then second thing is start using these tools like this, maybe like how we discussed earlier. Can I make a direct number? Thank you. Okay, if you have any questions, do let me know. AI ML for robotics, I'm not good at this, so maybe you can reach out to some other people. Robotics is not my game, but I see that robotics is the future. Like we thought robotics will come like 20, 30, 50 years after, but I'm sure that within 10 years, we'll see robots moving in US.
What are your thoughts on this prompt engineer?
Yeah, prompt engineer is currently the job that's available in many companies. So prompt, it's like Excel. At the beginning, only few people will be able to do it, but at some point, everyone will be able to do it. So right now, prompt engineering is like you do a 5 hour, 6 hours course, and you become a prompt engineering. And there are jobs for prompt engineering as well. If you can write better prompt, that will be good. But this is not going to be a specialized skill going forward. Everyone will know how to do prompt engineering. It will be like Google search.
Can you suggest some good site for prompt engineering?
Yeah, there is one guy, prompt engineering. There is a famous guy who does, there are many, but let me see. ChatGPT. Okay, I'll send you. I think Coursera's person or founder, they have did none of this one. Okay, I'll send you the course. Just ping me on LinkedIn. I'll send you the course. But there is a
Okay.
famous course from the founder of Coursera or someone who is an AI data scientist. It's just 2 hours. So once you learn it, you'll be able to write better prompts.
So this is individual field, or this relates to every other field like the back end, the front end, or ML?
Every field. This AI will be helpful. For example, SQL. You are
Again, the prompt engineer, I said.
prompt engineering is generic, irrespective of you are a developer, software developer, non-IT person, or a student, or a housewife. It doesn't matter. It's like you go to Copilot. For example, I'm going to Copilot, and then I wanted to. So let me say that generate image that It's the totals. Yeah. So for example, I wrote this command. Is this good or bad? Honestly, if I need a desired result, okay, it's a signing. If I need a desired result, then I need to give a very good prompt. So this is a bad prompt. Honestly, this may be a bad prompt. Now you need to understand how to write a better prompt. For example, if you are a artist, you will know that, okay, I need this to be photorealistic, or I need this to be a oil paint color, or I need the background to be different. So the more details you give in the prompt, the better the outcome will be. So the person who knows how to write right prompt will get better images than the person who doesn't know. I'm a layman, so I'm writing this. But then the person who knows this prompt, if he writes the prompt, then the outcomes will be different. It will be much, much better. So you need to know every person honestly who is working with AI, they should know prompt engineering.
Yes, good
So
prompt, perfect prompt should return the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
answer,
So see
accurate
the
answer.
outcome here and see the outcome here. This is photorealistic. That's what prompt engineering is. It makes the AI to give you better results. But there are tons of use cases, tons of places where they'll say how to do better prompt engineering. I'm not better at saying what is good, but I can suggest you course where it can help you write better prompts. I'll send you that. Okay,
this
let's
will
see
be
if I'm
generic for
Okay,
every
thank you.
field. This will be generic for every field, like
generic.
every
Yes,
field
yes,
people.
this
Yeah,
is generic.
it's good to know.
And I'm writing my death with my own hands because most of the companies using AI for the cost cutting and making themselves profitable. Most of the people using. Uh, it's inevitable that transformation happens. Transformation happens in the initial phases. Definitely, there will be a lot of changes due to AI. Generally, this statement is something which is under discussion and debate. Whether AI is going to create more jobs or is it going to kill jobs? There are positive and negative opinions that in the shorter period it may increase jobs, in a longer period it will reduce jobs. There is other notion as well. In the shorter period it will create more jobs, and I mean it will reduce jobs, but on a longer period it will create more jobs. So that transformation is eventually going to happen. It's like coffee machine. So there is a coffee machine and there is a chai wala. Still we go to chai wala and still we use coffee machine. Sometimes this, sometimes this, but the transformation is eventually going to happen and no one can stop it. If you are stubborn, not learning AI, thinking that AI is not going to do anything, but that's wrong, because some people on LinkedIn, I keep seeing that AI is just making look it like a big bubble. The bubble is going to blast. No, it's not going to blast. This is real. Tomorrow, even today, I see that with just language we talk, it is able to create everything. This is going to happen eventually. So we should be learning this instead of ignoring it or thinking we will lose job. Someone else is losing job. Nothing wrong with constructing this session presenting notes. And RPA is going to change. RPA has changed to intelligent process automation. Now it is going to change as agentic process automation. So if you are from RPA background, be aware that it's going to change as agentic process automation, which means that AI agents will be doing the process automation. So RPA people, be ready for the change. Yeah, by hosting into Azure tenant, your data doesn't go outside of Azure. It will be within your organization. That's by far the best thing to do. So you can deploy LLM on your Azure and then the data will be sitting within your Azure. Yeah. That's what. Ahmed, so if you have Azure OpenAI and you deploy your GPT-4o or GPT 3.5 and you use the APIs of those, your data will not go outside. Your data will be residing within your organization's Azure tenant. You're basically bringing the model into your Azure tenant. It's like within your cloud. Data won't be going. So every company is trying to use this.
So just to add there, so it will be an instance of the LLM model which will be
Yes.
available within the organization's
Yes.
Azure tenant.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
can deploy as well. For example, on my laptop, I have deployed 5.3. So if I deploy 5.3 on my laptop, and if I start using 5.3 in my laptop, my data is not going anywhere. Similarly, if you start using within Azure in your tenant, and you deploy Azure OpenAI models like GPT-3, GPT-4, or GPT-4o, or Hugging Face models, your data is not going outside of your organization. The data. That's why organizations use Azure OpenAI, even if it is a little expensive than outside.
So having each organization having its own instance of LLM, is that like not very resource intensive and cost wise? Like each organization does not want to send the data outside of its boundaries.
Obviously, yeah. It's like hosting, right? I mean, your website will be hosted within your Azure. Your model is hosted within your Azure. That's the right thing to do because we want privacy, security, data related aspects to be within the company. I'm not sure what's the question. Is this going to create an issue or a sustainability or carbon footprint? Yes, it is going to increase carbon footprint, sustainability issues. That's a different topic, which we are not discussing here.
Okay, no, in terms of like the compute power, because if each organization,
we are paying for it. We are paying. So the APIs, we need to pay for it. Obviously, we want our data to be secure, so we pay for it.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And these recordings will also be available. Have a good day. Take care.
Yeah. Thanks, Shahansha. Technology Shah. The good part of Shahansha is he is the early bird of learning any new technology and start contributing to the technology. So that's great of Shahansha. So for others also, if you are an expert in any technology and if you want to share your knowledge with all others, so you can reach out to us. So then we can have a slot for you as well. And if you are looking for some topic, for that also you can come reach out to us. So as said and already shared the links. So the recordings are going to be there in tinyurl.com/mfid. And there is a metaverse channel also where you can follow to get the latest updates of webinars. Thank you.
Please share your LinkedIn ID, please.
Yeah, I'll again share. LinkedIn ID. LinkedIn ID is there in the invitation itself. Let me. I can share it. So Shahansha, do you want to share your LinkedIn?
Yeah, I have sent you my website. You can go through it, and there you will be able to find every detail of me, including LinkedIn. In the chat window, you can see it.
Yeah. Shah, could you paste the notes that you had taken?
Yeah, I pasted it. This works.
Oh, you did? Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. I think it was a great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shahansha.